Guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's tutorial, we are going to cover evaluation as 2. On the evaluation as 2, we are going to, the question will be on to support your growth on the software engineering roles. And the rule is that once you have started this quiz, you may not click out or search on Google or open a terminal. Then another rule is that failure to stay within the exam window will reflect your final score. So by all means, you are supposed to stay within the window on which you are supposed not to do this particular evaluation. And if you complete the quiz sooner than the expected, that is acceptable. However, this particular quiz cannot be paused once started. So you have to be very careful. You must do this particular evaluation when you are 100% prepared to do the evaluation. Then another rule is that you are not supposed to ask a peer for answer during the exam period. But I'm 100% sure that if you have been going through the reading material from the previous classes, you will find this particular evaluation quite easy for you. So let's start the evaluation. Then number 1, this is on Linux. You write the correct combination of the whole flags used to open a file with the mode write only, create if it does not exist, and append new content at the end if it already exists. We had a similar question in the previous assignments, and the correct answer, the keyword there is it is the mode that will write only. So you pick the first letter or character W and the R, that is right. Then we have only this one. So we have this one and maybe this one. Those are the right only, but they're not the answer. So we need to consider number 2. We are supposed to create it. To create. So the create is this one. So we have this one, and so we have this one and this one. But let's evaluate now the last part, and append. So the correct answer is supposed to be number 1. So you write only this one, W R only. Then you create it if it does not exist, which is now the create, and lastly you append. So that's the answer for number 1. Okay, let's go to number 2. What is the different steps to form an executable file from C source? Still, we had also done the same thing. So as usual, to get the answer for this one, the steps are very clear. So number 1, you do the pre-processing. 2, compilation. 3, you assemble. And lastly, you link. So we have pre-processing, compilation, assembly, and linking. That the correct steps when executing a file from the C. Okay, let's move to the next number, which is 0 multiply 1 3. Then we have this one, and if you happen to have anything of this nature, which is 13, the same as multiply, so it will give you 26. 13 multiplied by 2, which is give you 26, and the answer is 0 multiply 26. Okay, let's move to the next number. Our next number, we have 0 multiply 98. 0 multiply 98, and the obvious answer is supposed to be this. These are the most obvious answers, so you need to struggle on that. Okay, the next question, this one is on Python. You are supposed to choose a statement that will complete the function that returns a string made up by plus n number of times, assuming choose a statement that would complete the function that returns a string made up of n plus number of. Okay, so we have the most important part is so we have print plus n, then you press this line, then we have print plus 3, then we have plus plus, then you press this one. So the correct answer for this one, it is supposed to be from that code that we have, must have return n, then hash this time, then this one. So the first one is this one, which is still similar to this one, the last part, which is return, only that we have interchanged the plus and the n. The answer is supposed to be the same. Then you submit. At the end of the evaluation will check the answers whether they are correct. So there is no need of worrying on whether we have done the thing correctly, but I'm always 100% sure if you go through the reading material that we have already run on the other, most so on the C. By now we have already covered the C. You will never get a challenge on how to simplify this one. Okay, so back to the next number on C. In the main C file, on what line is the first error that the compiler returns? So we have the character L alone, then we have then the next part hello set. Okay, I declared first. Okay, let me see. So we have let me see. Alright. Okay, so based on this one, from the two columns that we have, the let me see. So for this, so we have so the first error that the compiler returns is supposed to be 11. Then submit. Then another question on Linux without a context on port 2, you write is. So write in Ubuntu is supposed to be system call and executable. We are already done this one in the previous task before, so it should gives you a lot of problem, more so if it's on this Linux. Then next number, what is OB00810 in base of 10? So from this point to that other point, already having learned this on the C, it will give you with 2. Okay, then the next question, number 9, it's on Python. What does this print? So we have print, my favorite line of is format the Zen of Python 11. So what will be printed is my favorite line of the Zen of Python is 11. That's what will be printed, because if you look at the last part, you have the 11. So eventually we must have 11. Then the statement in between, which will be printed. Okay, submit. Then next number. The following code gives this incorrect output. Gives incorrect outputs, in which we have which of the following statements about is causing the error is true, then you're supposed to select all the valid answers. So we have the integer main main, we have the for I is equal to 0, where I is less than 10, then I you had. Then we have J, while J is less than 10. So what will be printed? So as you can see, these are now the output. This is what has been printed. It has printed 0. And we are supposed now to give the reason why, which of the following statement is causing the error is true. Then you're supposed to select, and number one is that for the J, which is not the obvious, for the J never increments, so it is always going to print 0. This one never increments, because if you look at how it has been recorded, so we have J is less than 10, so it will never increment. Then another point is that J never increments, so it will always be less than 10 based on what the code has been written. Okay, let's move to the next part. Wow, this is a very easy one. This is from Python. And this one, as you can see, it's from the Python, which is now the next part for engineering. What does this command line print? Where we have hello world supposed to print, then you can see that it has been metered, the range. You are supposed to print 5 characters. So 5 characters from this one, which is a H, E, L, L, O. Those are 5 characters. So those are the characters that will be printed based on the command that has been given. So then you submit. Okay, the next question is still on Python. Choose the line of code to replace the comment below so the function prints a given string without a lower or a uppercase C. Okay, let me see. So we have and the C print. Then place this line. Okay, so what do we have? The answer that we have. Then we have the characters. Let me see how to go about it. So the comment. So this one. Choose the line of code to replace the comment below so that the function prints a given string without the lower or the uppercase. So these are the answers. So number one, we will have if the character not in C, this one, the first one. Then number two, if the character, yeah, those are the 2 answers that we have. Then we submit. Then number 13, question number 13 is on C. So what is 98 in base 16? In base 16. In base 16. And this one is on base 16 is supposed to be 0 multiplied 62. This is the correct answer. Okay. Then number 14, this is on Linux. When I'm using WR only, which means write only, create. appends the slash at the bitwise operator. And the answer is it's true. The slash will work as a bitwise operator, then you submit. It's a very simple pattern. Number 15, the question is on Linux. What is the UNI standard symbolic constant for the standard input? So the keyword there is standard input, the last part. This is the part that you should concentrate with. So if it's supposed to be the standard output, you are supposed to go for standard. STD, standard in, stand for input. Then you submit. Then the last part, which is now our last question. What is wrong with the following code? What is wrong with the following code? So we have int n is equal to int raise 5, int 5, 5. Then you have this one. So this being C, of course, if you look at everything, seems correct. So the correct answer for this one is supposed to be nothing is wrong. And great work. So that of course we are through with our assignment. So let's go back to our home. So these are the details for my assignment for the last quiz that I've done. For evaluation 0, I got 92. Evaluation 1 into 93. Then for evaluation, this is the most important part, evaluation quizzes for evaluation H2. So let's go through the whole thing, which I've scored. So these are now the analysis, date done, duration 26 minutes, score is 100%. So as you can see, we have what is the correct combination for this one. Okay, so what do we have? Creative does not exist and append new content at the end if already exists. So we have from create. Then number 2, what is the different steps to form? Preprocessing, combination, assembly, and linking. which is now the proper. Good. Then for this one, we have that part, then less than that, which will give us then next number, then the next one supposed to give two answers, then the next number is 11, executable 82. Then the following codes give the incorrect output, and as you can see, for this one where we had the increment for the j, we have the j and the I, so for the j it will never increment, so it will always be less than 10 and it will always going to print 0. Then what does the command line prints? This is of C, so of course supposed to be hello, the 5 characters. Then you choose the line of code to replace the comment below, so the function prints a given string without a lowercase or the uppercase. So if the character is not C and if the character is not part, then number 12, what is 98 in base 16? So it's supposed to be 0 multiplied 62. And lastly, number 13, you're supposed to, when I'm using write only create and parent, the slash, of course, it's a bitwise operator. It's true. And the mark is 1. Then what is the standard symbolic constant for the standard input? So of course, just as we had said the previous part, if you compare the standard input, this part, not this one. I will keep on emphasizing this one. So we have standard in file number. And what is wrong with the following code? And as you can see, if you've gone through the reading material, you find that there's nothing wrong with the code. The code is it's correct, and that is actually the last part of our evaluation quiz correction. So thank you for taking time to go through this tutorial. I know that I'm 100% sure that you will learn something through this particular video. So share with your friends, continue sharing the knowledge with your friends, and you like, and if you happen to have any question, you need clarification on either the C or the Python, don't shy away from writing the question on the comment section. I will go through all the questions that I will get and try my level best to clarify to you as much as I know. Thank you once again. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye. sorry.